If I had to start completely from scratch in 2026, so no audience, no followers, no designs, here's exactly how I'd build a print-on-demand or digital shop on Etsy that actually makes money fast. The truth is, whether you are selling sweatshirts or clip art or digital downloads, the method is still the exact same. You find what's already proven to sell, design smarter and faster with AI, and launch it strategically instead of guessing along the way. If you are new around here, I am the owner of Bailey Design Co., a 7-figure digital design shop on Etsy. And I actually had a print-on-demand shop that was open from 2020 to 2021 that did over 6 figures in revenue that year, just selling simple sweatshirt designs, all made from my laptop as a mom of 4 children. I now teach hundreds and hundreds of sellers how to use AI and real data to create profitable shops like mine. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I would build a profitable shop selling POD products or digital products in 2026, from research to design to listing on Etsy. So step number 1 is to find a profitable base keyword. And what I mean by that is something like sweatshirt or wall art, or if you are in the digital space, PNG file or digital download or digital planner. We're not putting anything in specific like country sweatshirt or boho sweatshirt or mom digital planner. Just the base keyword is all we need because we're looking for those opportunities that actually have low competition, that still have high demand. So that means people are actually searching for that. So to quickly find these types of keywords, I'm just using a tool called eRank. In eRank here on the dashboard, you're just going to type in your base product keyword. So for this, I'm going to type in sweatshirt. For me, when I had my print-on-demand shop, sweatshirts were my #1 seller, even above t-shirts, though coffee mugs did really well with the same type of design. So I know that sweatshirts are a really good product to go after, especially due to the time of year and their continued popularity through about April. If you can see this historical data here, you see that it starts to climb in about September, and it kind of has the same trajectory until about April when it starts to go down. And as you can see here in August of this year, it started picking up. So it will repeat the same cycle. Now for me, sweatshirts actually sold the entire year around. It was a very niche specific or niche specific type of a sweatshirt for moms. And so it didn't really have the seasonal life plan or livelihood as most typical sweatshirts. So you may need to add your sweatshirt designs onto t-shirts if it's something that is more seasonal. So now all I'm doing is coming down here, and the 2 columns that I want to look at is this first column, which is the average monthly searches. You can also see here the graph of the number of searches per month. But then I'm also looking at this one right here, which is the competition. So obviously red is bad because this just means there are over 3.6 million results for just the base keyword sweatshirt. So as a new seller, we would probably never rank for just sweatshirt, and not that we would want to, because it would obviously not apply to every particular person typing in that keyword. So again, what we're looking for is this column to be green, while this column to still be green or yellow. If it's yellow, it means it's a mid to medium type of a search as far as average monthly searches, and that's fine. We can definitely work with that. We would just want to stack multiple yellow results. So now I'm just moving down, and I'm just going to go through the pages until I find 2 that are green. Now, obviously, this one is popular because it is a trademark or copyright type item. It's a Wicked sweatshirt, so its popularity is due to the movie that is coming out. So we want to definitely avoid these types of keywords, as these listings would get shut down or taken down inevitably. With eRank, this process can be really quick because we're just looking for 2 to actually be green. Wifey sweatshirt, I believe they actually trademarked this eventually, which is why it's still showing a low competition. Back when I sold sweatshirts, this had not been copyrighted yet, but do your due diligence. I'm pretty sure that this one is a trademarked phrase, so we want to just stay away from that. Anytime you see something like this where it's probably too good to be true, it's probably copyright or trademark, so you just want to do a quick search to make sure. So the next good one would be the Mrs. sweatshirt, though I kind of want to stay away from this because I want something to work with that I can eventually add more types of designs in the future. And for me, I'm just not really interested in the bridal niche per se. Next, we have a few good results that are monogram sweatshirt and customizable sweatshirt. Customizable or personalized or monogram, meaning it would be some initials in a particular type of monogram style, are really good types of listings to put up if you don't want to be creative and make your own type of designs, because basically the customer is just giving you the information and then you just customize it with whatever phrase or quote or name or initials that they're asking for. So you would want to have a couple of listings up that you can customize, but then you would just work with the customer and there may be revisions back and forth, but these can often sell for a higher price point. So they are something good to look at if that interests you as far as doing customized items. So on page 5, we have a few that are sticking out to me. So we have this Auntie one, we have the Teach sweatshirt, we have Feminist sweatshirt, we have this Freedom one. I would definitely stay away from this one as this is due to current events. Then we have 1985 sweatshirt. I've actually seen a few of these years as I went through these, so a lot of people do actually really well with the year and people probably buy them for birth dates. So this would be something interesting to look at as well. But I'm mainly looking at the Auntie sweatshirt, or I could do the Teach sweatshirt because this one seems to be pretty stable year around with just a few months off in the summer. And that's because teachers work basically 9 months out of the year, and it's yellow, so it's not the greatest, but it's definitely something worth saving. If you want, you can be saving these to a list so that you can always refer back to them when you're ready to create a new product, so that you're not doing this search again every single time you need to look for something to create for. Moving to the next page, we have a few more like Cheer sweatshirt and the SLP and XOXO. I'm sure this one will actually spike up in actually January is what it says, and it's 4,000 searches or 4,700 searches. So this is a very seasonal item, but now is the perfect time to actually be getting these types of products up because we always want to make sure we're listing them about 2 to 3 months in advance. Here we have another version of Aunt. So instead of Auntie, it's just Aunt sweatshirt. And then we have the Grammy sweatshirt here, bird sweatshirt. So I'm not sure if this one is any particular type of bird. We'd have to do some more research. But I'm thinking that I'm going to go in a niche similar to what I had done before, because as I kept going, there were things like Mimi sweatshirt, Nana sweatshirt, Nanny sweatshirt, and then Grandma sweatshirt, and different combinations of Grammy, and they were all green. So this one is a little bit low. It averages 476 searches, but with the combination of all of those other types of grandparent names that you could do, that would be enough to stack where there'd be enough volume and low enough competition. So I'm actually going to go with Grammy. I'm very familiar with this. As I said before, with my print-on-demand shop prior to the digital shop, it was in the mom space, so I know what they usually react to and what sells best in this space. If you are not selling sweatshirts, you will just replace your base keyword with whatever it is that you are selling. So before I said PNG, if you are selling PNG files, or maybe SVGs or Tumblr wraps like I've done in the past, or it could be a different type of print-on-demand product. So it could be a tote bag, or it could be a blanket, or it could be a coffee mug. You're just repeating the process, looking for those low competition, high searched for keywords. But the second step in the process is to validate the keyword as far as the design style and aesthetic goes on Etsy. So just because we found a keyword, Grammy sweatshirt in this case, doesn't mean that we just go put up any type of random design that says Grammy. We need to actually look on Etsy and see what is selling and what is performing well, and then make our own version of that and try to make something better and more unique that's not already on the marketplace. So to do that, all I've typed in on Etsy is Grammy sweatshirt, and then I filtered by physical items. This is because I only want to be shown actual items and not digital downloads or PNG files for this specific keyword. Now all I'm going to do is see if I can spot any particular types of patterns as far as the design style. So what I'm seeing already is the Grand Millennial type of a print, which is this like blue and floral white that has been popular this year. We have your leopard print. As you can see with all of these in the embroidered one as well, these are like collegiate letters as far as the font style. So that is something to keep in mind as well. Here we have some more of the same type, and they actually are selling multiple different names in this one, so a custom one. Then we move it down here, same type of Grand Millennial. This one is a little bit different, more cottagecore, but same idea, and same collegiate letters. Then as we come down here, we have this script one that's always been popular. But what I'm really looking for is with Profittree, I have that installed. It is just a Chrome extension. It's showing me the listing age here and the average monthly sales. So this is really important to see if there are newer listings performing well. So ones like this, there's not any data yet. So we want to look at ones like this and see if we can find ones that are newer. So anything under 6 months old that we can possibly create. So both of these ones right here, this floral, now it is embroidered, are only about 3 months old, but they're doing really, really well. And we're really seeing a lot of the same layout. So it's kind of just like the arched collegiate letter, whether they have a pattern in there or not. Some of them are just more distressed like this. Some have a different word and then they say it here. And then there's lots of florals, the Grand Millennial, and the leopard. So now that we have validated the keyword with the type of design styles and aesthetics that are actually selling well on Etsy, it's time to create ours. So to do this really quickly, I am using Kittl and Kittl's built-in templates and AI, because as most people, when they're starting out on Etsy, they have zero graphic design experience. I know I'm still not considering myself a designer, even though I've done this for years now and have had a ton of sales. I still struggle with coming up with types of designs that look really good. So I need a place to jump off, and then I'm really good at making it more unique and making it different. So that is where my skill lies in, is being able to edit something as long as I have a good solid jumping off point. So over here in Kittl, I'm actually going to click on their templates, which is right here. And this is really a really great software to use just because it has everything that you could possibly need to edit your design, to create new designs, to use their AI, all built into one platform so that you're not spending a ton of money on different subscriptions. I know with my members, they often struggle with trying to choose which one, and then they end up getting $100 worth of subscriptions of different AI tools that they don't actually use. And Kittl's really great because they now have over 13 different AI generators built in, so that you don't need to be hopping around trying different ones out. They're all just in the same place. So over here in their template section, all I'm going to type in is mama. And you can do this if you don't have an idea of what type of designs would do well. This again is one of the best things about Kittl, is their templates that are already pre-built that we can take and use as a starting off point. In this case for our Grammy design. So all I'm going to do is look through here till I spot something that would work, that I could make changes to in line with what was selling. So again, we saw collegiate letters, we saw leopard print, we saw a lot of florals, and then of course we're going to switch it to our key. Their templates are really great because they're based on current trends. So that means they're already pretty trendy as is. We just have to do some minor edits. As I said before, I'm also trying to be more unique and bring something different to the table along with the same design aesthetics that are already popular, so that I have the best chance of standing out and actually making sales. Because if we just try to make a leopard, collegiate, arched type of design that says Grammy, that looks just the same as everyone else's, we are not going to have a chance at getting sales and ranked, because they're going to choose the one that already has previous sales and reviews. So I didn't see anything like this one, so I'm just going to click on use. Okay, so now it's brought up our template. We could just technically click on this and like change it to Grammy and then change the colors and it would be good to go. But I'm actually going to take it a step further and use Kittle's AI to make way better changes and make it way more trendy and related to the type of design styles that I saw that were really popular on that page. So I'm going to actually keep the same style as far as like the retro type of a font, but to make the changes that I need to do as far as like fill these out with a grungy leopard print type of a pattern, I need to create what's called a new smartboard to make changes to it with AI. So to do that, I'm just clicking on the template up here. So Mama is where I'm clicking, which is right here. And then I'm going to click add a smartboard. So this basically duplicates this. So now I can chat with AI over here and make the changes instead of just like changing the words and the color. Okay, so all I said was change the words Mama to Grammy and have them be filled with a grungy leopard print pattern. Now to do this, I always use ChatGPT, this one right here. It's the strongest prompt adherence is what it says. It does take more credits compared to some of the other ones. Nano Banana has historically been really good as well, but it really is just up to how good and close to the design to your prompt you want it to do. So I'm using that one. I also have the background, which is right here, changed to transparent so that it makes it into a transparent PNG so that I'm able to add it to my print on demand. Then I've just clicked generate and in just a few seconds this will be ready and then we'll go on and make further changes with the AI if we need. Okay, so as you can see, it did exactly what I asked for. It did make it a little bit smaller because it is a longer word. The flowers got changed to match the orange in the rose a little bit closer, and I think it looks really well with the leopard print. I was going to make edits to the flower as well, but I think I'm actually just going to leave it as is, as I think it all goes together really nicely, and it's definitely something different than all of the ones that we saw out here in terms of the layout. So it's that stacked thing, which is pretty popular still, so it's different than this, though the letters are pretty similar, but it has the leopard print and then it has the floral elements that are all over the page as well. So it's kind of combining all of those, which is just a simple way of saying it's cross-niching it with the different types of design style aesthetics. So I'm going to leave it at. So next I want to convert this to an image. So now it is an actual image, so I can click on this and download. So to make sure that this is completely usable, we want to make sure that we upscale it. So I'm just clicking on upscale, which is right here. We've already removed the background, so it's transparent, so it will look fine on an actual and it doesn't have a white background. So now that we've upscaled it, we just want to make sure that this is selected right here. And then I'm just choosing quick export, which is right here. I typically will go ahead and upscale this even more so the size is big enough. And then just click export. So I know at this point, the designing part of the process is where most sellers get stuck and hung up and wonder why their designs aren't selling. I've seen it happen again and again inside of my community. People spend hours and hours making cute designs and then wonder why they never sell. And it's all because they skip the validation part. This is exactly why inside my AI design and grow experience, I actually provide you with the trending products. So whether this is wall art or print on demand products or PNG designs, with the AI prompts that are actually in style for what is selling. I also teach you how to find proven product ideas and validate what is trending with real data so that your designs actually sell when they hit Etsy or your own website. So if you do want to learn how to design smarter and faster, then click the link down in the description below. So now it's time to actually list your products over on Printify and then push them over to Etsy. So I've always used Printify to fulfill my print on demand product as they're really simple and easy to work with and have some of the best profit margins out there for print on demand products. So once you are signed into your Printify account, you'll just navigate to the catalog, which is right here, and then pick your product. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of different different types of print-on-demand products that you can sell. So do be sure to take some time and look at the different types of products. Obviously, you would have done your research already in eRank to make sure your, say, sweatshirt or your tumbler or your piece of jewelry is actually selling before you just randomly picked a product and made a design for it. So I'm just clicking on sweatshirts, and I've always sold the Gildan 18,000, which is this one right here, though I have sold the Comfort Colors sweatshirt as well. So to add my design, I've just clicked on this, and then all I'm going to do is click on Start Designing. So that is right here, and they're going to just have it as easy as possible for you to upload a design. So all I'm doing is clicking on upload, which is right here, and then adding my design. Printify also has the option to print on the sleeves, which if you noticed on a lot of the listings, they were customized as far as like this one has a little heart here, so it's not that customized. This one just had one. Or they had them here where they actually had the grandchildren's name, and I've seen this done before on mom sweatshirts as well. So if you wanted to take it a step further, be able to charge more and stand out, because a lot of people aren't willing to do this customization step, then you might have a better chance at standing out compared to just something that is more automated. Once you have your design uploaded, you'll just want to format it a bit. So I will stretch this out just so it fills the entire print area as much as possible, and then make sure it's centered. Up here under select variants is where you can add different colors. So obviously this one will be on white. I have always had really good success with the sand ones. I don't really want to do any of the darker colors just because it won't look as good without having an outline around the letters. So I'm just actually going to keep it at those three. And then my next step is just to save product. On this next screen is where you're going to add in all of your listings information. Now, I don't necessarily use the mockups that Printify provides besides like the folded one, which is right here, just to show the different colors of sweatshirts, just because the mockups that I have purchased off of Etsy in the past have converted better, as well as the ones in Kittl. So if you come back over here to Kittl, you can actually mock up within here. If you click on your smartboard and you click on mockup right here, it's actually going to pull up all types of mockups. So you can put in whatever it is that you're looking for. Now, a lot of them might not be necessarily the type of product that you're looking for. So it wouldn't look good with like a man wearing the little reindeer type of a thing, or some of these like it's a back print. So they might be adding more in the future that are more usable. There's ones like this, but typically you want to look at what is performing best on Etsy, which these types of mockups that you see, there's a reason why the people are using the same mockups. These are just purchased off of Etsy. So whenever I need a mockup, like a folded one as simple as this will work, or this one has been popular for a very long time. I also have this mockup or ones like this. All you need to do is type in trendy sweatshirt mockup. Oftentimes you can buy a bundle just like this and have all of your colors for about $11. So this is something that's really worth it if you are going to be selling the same type of product. And as you can see, here is the one with the girl with the coffee cup here. Here's a really good example of one that is folded. They're really inexpensive. All you would need to do is spend no more than $10 to $15 to get all of your colors, and it will be well worth it in terms of how much better your products will sell. You can think of your mock-up like your product's billboard. It basically does the selling for your product, because I can tell you just based from experience, if you have a poor converting mock-up, then it doesn't matter how good the design is. I will also say, keep in mind the person of the buyer who is purchasing the sweatshirt. So in this case, it is a grandma or a Grammy, or someone is buying this for a grandma, which is why you'll see a lot of these ones, well, back to the Grammy, where they were just flat lay or folded, so like this, because this woman with the coffee cup, while it's a really good mock-up, the Grammy, she doesn't necessarily look like a Grammy. So that's why a lot of these ones, especially in this niche, are just folded flat lays. So it would be different if this was a mama sweatshirt with the leopard print and had this type of a model on here. So just keep in mind who's the actual product intended for, and that will help you. As you're seeing, most all of these are flat lay or folded, with the exception of this one. Now, since I have all of my mock-ups from the past over in folders here in Canva, I've just added that image here. So in this example, I chose the flat lay and then just dropped my image here to mock this up on. I should move all of these over to Kittl since I use Kittl all of the time now. It's just a matter of putting literally hundreds and hundreds of mock-ups that I have had from the past over to my folders in Kittl. But it's as simple as adding your design and then kind of just moving it a little bit, because this one is a little bit off-centered, and that's really it. I do like to take the transparency down just a bit so it looks really realistic. Usually around the 85 to 90 mark is perfect. And then I'm just downloading it. So over here in Printify, when you're adding in all of your information, you're just going to want to choose your additional mockups. So typically I only add it to 1 or 2 mockups. It's really just that main photo or that main first image that's really important. So then you can add the folded ones like this or just like this to have the additional colors so that your customer can see all of the options. Then I'm just clicking on Save Selection because I have these 3 selected here. And then in the next page, I can just go ahead and upload my new mockup. Next, it's time to add our title and our keywords. And this is the way that your products actually get found. So basically, we want to look at our high performing listings that are already making sales and then edit them to make sure they match our listing. So over here, I've just added one of them, and then I'm going to remove the keywords like custom and personalized because ours isn't and we don't have the name on the sleeve. And then I want to add in the rose and the leopard print and anything else that would make it specific to our product. So we don't need personalized and name on the sleeve, and then the rest is good. Typically, I keep the description in here. I do have placeholder descriptions on all of mine. So you may want to edit this a little bit to include some of the keywords as well. And then as we move down here is where we need to put in our tags. So these are just search terms that people would be searching when they're actually looking for a type of product that matches yours. So an easy way to do this is to also look at high performing listings that we are creating for. And if you navigate down here, you're going to see more related searches. So these are additional keywords that people are typing in who search for this. So we have things like Grammy bow shirt, Grammy Christmas shirts, long sleeve shirts with Grammy, obviously only use the ones that make sense. So Grammy red, I'm assuming like a Grammy red shirt. We don't want ones like that. Or if it's not a Grammy Claus sweatshirt, then we would only use the ones that apply to our specific product. Down here below is where you can edit your pricing. They do have a calculator in here so you can really see how much you're making if you put in just a specific percentage as far as a profit margin that you want to keep. But my recommendation is usually to be in line with what is selling. So if they're all selling for $35, you could potentially price yours at $35 and then do an additional discount, like run a sale to make it be slightly less, which would be more valuable to the customer if they're looking for a deal. You can also do things like run them on a 24-hour so that it always has the countdown. So this is something that is really big on Etsy. You can see sale ends in 1 day, meaning they set their sale to end tomorrow, or they set it to start and end the same day, and that would be the little timer, so 6 hours left. And this really, really does help with conversions. I know a lot of people don't like to go in and do this extra step, but I promise you, both in the digital space and the print on demand space, running a 24-hour sale always converts better. Once you have all of your pricing figured out, then you will just go ahead and hit publish. And assuming you already have your Etsy shop hooked up to your Printify, which you would at this point, then it will just automatically publish to your Etsy shop. You can save as draft as well if you're not ready to publish this or you want to come back later. Next step is just to repeat the process with multiple types of items. So you will just repeat the same 5 steps, which is find a low competition, highly searched for product using eRank, or you can do this on Etsy itself. Then you're going to want to validate the types of design aesthetics that are actually selling. So again, you're looking for things like trends like the leopard print or the type of font that was used or the placement. You're going to want to pick an AI tool that hopefully lets you do the majority of your editing and AI creation all in one place. And for me, that was Kittl in this case. At that point, you just upload it to Printify and publish it to your Etsy shop. Now, obviously, if you are just selling the digital version of this, which you definitely could just sell the PNG design of this, your steps would stop at the AI creation and the mock-up creation. You would still need to mock it up. If you don't want to do mock-ups, they always work well just on a white background if you are in the PNG or like SVG space. And this is exactly how I would start a print-on-demand or digital shop in 2026 using data and AI to speed up the process, and we're not listing things that people aren't already searching for in design styles that make no sense. If you do want my help along the way, along with daily trending product ideas, the AI prompts to create them, and the SEO, along with my entire automated traffic circle strategy, which is how I built my shop to be over $1 million in just about a year and a half, then do be sure to check the link out in the description below. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.